upload it for
Yep.
um so yeah, no worries.
Okay. Okay. Um, First and foremost, thank you so much for your interest in Mafa and selecting a time for interview. We're really thankful that you survived the intern program, and hopefully you enjoyed that experience, and it transitions very nicely into a full-time position with Mafa. Although it's obviously not that big of a responsibility compared to school, of course.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You were going to get 5 minutes for your speech, and we'll give you a warning with 1 minute, 30 seconds, and then time. And then following that, we'll have 4 questions for you about the position of outreach, which you are running for. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to begin.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm ready. Mafa is home to me. It's always been a safe and genuine place where it's fulfilling and an org to be part of. I had so much fun interning this past spring and hope to continue my contribution as I enter grad school. 4 years into my undergrad, I was contributing my time with multiple organizations from APAC to national Filipino orgs. And besides my classes, contributing back to my community has been the most intentionally and genuinely fulfilling thing I've ever done. I truly love it here. Like that's why I came back. I chose outreach because I love communicating with internal and external teams. I have a passion with connecting with people and building relationships. That's something I did a lot in undergrad, cultivating those connections and community. And as outreach, I did notice, and I talked to Sonny about this. I noticed that there's like less Mafa families. So to keep people engaged, I was thinking of having outreach members having get-togethers like cookouts or game days on campus while promoting Mafa families to show it's just not a networking thing, but a social thing. Um, I came up with ideas during this internship to like have meetups in Chicago, St. Louis, or somewhere in the Midwest, whether that's reserving a picnic day, a beach day, field day, field day tournaments. I just feel like we need to have more in person, but still free opportunities. Because even though we are online, I feel like that's still feeling of COVID. Um, but no worries. Even if we do have online, I do have some interactive like game ideas from scavenger hunt to scavenger hunt around your house or around your campus. The purpose is to make Mafa family active, not just on a computer. And then I also talked to Solani about this, about CAP. I just want to encourage to continue doing that, especially surrounding schools to join, especially community colleges. I think there's so much opportunity. I don't think we should just focus on like big schools. There's so many more Filipino Americans in community colleges too that need to be recognized and noticed. Um, and for the internship, I loved my internship. It was so fun, and I'm going to St. Louis. But in ways I want to strengthen it as well, is communication and accountability. I want to contribute helping out anywhere I can to support Mafa members, whether that be advice, academics, or even just to check in. I'm here to create safe spaces, open and brave conversations, and what's going on in the community. I want to share internships and organizations with my community. As I can conclude, like I said in the beginning, Mafa is home. I truly want to stay connected. I made friends, mutuals, and so many Filipinos across the United States. And I believe with values of empowerment, community, and intentionality, I truly believe I can be an amazing leader at Mafa. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You really presented some really ambitious and great ideas for the role. I'm really proud of you. Thank you. I will say, just from personal experience of working with outreach, one of the big challenges that comes with MAFA as a whole is because we're an organization that connects so many different schools, in-person events are a really hard challenge. So that's why online events are generally speaking more common and more easy to manage. But with the position, it would be really awesome to see a lot more events. That's an excellent idea. And also the community college um, applications for MAFA are really important too. I'm going to pass it on to Danny, who is going to begin our question portion of the interview.
Yep. Awesome. So thank you again so much for that speech. That was awesome. And with the Q&A, we're going to ask you a couple questions. We'll let you know at the end if we're running late on time, but feel free to answer as thoroughly as you can. So for question one, what does the Mafa family program mean to you? How do you envision this program to grow in the future?
Yeah, like I said in my speech, I noticed that has been like over the years, there's been less and less Mafa families, but I want to promote it back, especially in person or at least on campuses. So talking, I believe it's called Mafa outreach members from different universities and campuses to like, we'll talk to them internally, but externally we'll have like mini events, whether that be like a small picnic or a gathering, bonding event on their campus, just promoting what Mafa family really is. Whether it's just a networking opportunity, a social opportunity. I think in order to strengthen it, I think we just gotta be honest, but also genuine in these connections. I think it's about cultivating these connections with Mafa members throughout, not just like promoting something. So yeah.
All right. So for the second question, it is how will you distribute tasks with your co-outreach chair? I believe there will be one for this coming board. And what happens if you both have different ideas or perspectives? How will you approach those kind of, I wouldn't say conflicts, but situations?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely working with different organizations. I've definitely had conflicts before, but I learned from them. It's definitely having those one-on-one talks and like um being honest but also respectful to the person. And I think it's a space to both hear each other out and come up with a solution and a game plan, like actually write it out. Like I remember in an organization I had to assign a task to a member, and they were balancing a lot on their plate, and I was just kind of being a mentor to them but also like a supportive role. And I think because there's two co-outreach chairs, I think being a good partner to them and like helping, showing that they're encouraged, they're supported, I'm here for you, but also set boundaries, I think is important too. That's the way I communicate. Sorry, what was the first half? I think I answered the second half.
The first half, it was just distributing tasks. If you want to elaborate more on that.
Yeah, I think we'll start with the foundation when we first start. I think that's super important because we'll write down in a document and put a layout out, and then it'll like we'll have follow-ups, like I say, like at least once a week, so we can check in on each other and keep each other accountable on task. That's just how I approach it. So yeah.
Okay. And then, hi, I have a few questions for you. My first question is, how do you think your previous experiences in Mafa Board, and as a Mafa intern, would help you in a potential upcoming term?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I learned so much in these last 4 years. And I learned so much about my community. Most importantly, it showed me what their needs are, what they need, and how it can contribute. Understanding the dynamics, the conflicts, the relationships. I really got to learn my community on a deeper level, and so coming back to Mafa, I have more experience and more of a I have an easier approach of like building your relationships and like have more confidence. And also just learning from different leadership styles to communication styles. Having a whirlwind of different perspectives really opened my eyes to many different changes and opportunities. So I really want to contribute back to like what I learned um, whether that was from struggles or from accomplishments, whatever it may be. Like, I'm coming back because I love my community and I just want to give back and, you know, share my teachings and wisdom.
I really enjoyed your response. I think it was very thoughtful. And then I'm gonna ask you another question. It's related to like fam heads. So when reaching out to the fam heads for check-ins, how would you approach the situation if the fam head does not respond to messages, or they're not communicating properly, or they're not rescheduling with you?
Yeah, so in terms of communication, again, I always lay out the foundation right in the beginning, from tasks to expectations to communication styles and boundaries. But if they're not responding or I notice that they're rescheduling a lot, I will do a check-in, like not just say, hey, you need to do this, but like, hey, how are you doing? Like, how can I support you? How can I encourage you to stay? I want to promote Mafa in a way where they're contributing something greater for the long term. And I think that's what I'm looking for, is the long term for Mafa, not just like for my 1 year term. So yeah, and then yeah.
Thank you so much. Those were some great responses, very thoughtful, very personal. And we'll be back. You'll hear from us soon about future steps with Mafa and the position. So just check your email. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh
We
wait,
really.
also, do you have any questions for us?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah. My bad. My bad. That's on me.
Yeah. I was wondering, what are some, I don't want to use the word weakness, but what are ways we can strengthen Mafa's community needs? Or like what things you've been noticing that Mafa needs in general?
I think I can answer this question. Outreach works really closely with the VP position throughout the year, mostly just for like check-ins with externals, which we did in the fall, and then also in the spring right before MFAS, and then also on the onboarding process for new schools whenever they're interested. Generally speaking, most schools require money, whether that be like to fund for trips for their schools to make it to factor MFAS, but usually it's a monetary restriction that requires like some help from us in order to make events happen. But other than that, the most important thing that Mafa provides is a network, and whether that be like the database that's provided in Mafa to externals, which connects interstate schools, like Indiana every year has a meetup, which is really nice. And I'll obviously with outreach, it would be really fun to promote other interstate meetups between schools like in Wisconsin, Illinois, et cetera, et cetera. I know the Ohio schools are close, but um, yeah, I'd say that's the main thing that MAPA provides for those kinds of schools. Any other questions?
Um, I was curious, maybe Salon, well, which community, I was curious what other community colleges have recently been involved. I was just want to get some ideas and yeah.
You mean for like the CAP program or?
Yeah, for the CAP program.
Um, I'm not completely too sure.
I know.
You know,
It's there are two kids in the CAP program, which both go to community colleges, I believe, or they're just small enough schools that um, there's no like strictly Asian American organization to support them. So I'm pretty sure one of them went to MFAS, which is really great.
Oh,
But
cool.
promoting CAP and just having the marketing for that as an opportunity for people is super important. So I think your ambition to make that happen for more kids in a similar situation is really great. Um, yeah, it's just a marketing thing. And
Oh
generally like MAFA is a connection through a Big Ten school or a larger school that has a program already. So that's why it's kind of
Mm,
hard for people to learn about it just
mm,
straight from the Instagram, because that's where most people would gather,
right.
what what's going on. That's a really great goal though, if you want to provide more opportunities for people.
Yeah, I think for the future, I think for at least when the CAP program just started, like a lot of it was also through word of mouth, or like
Yeah,
people in community
Mhm.
college that want to be part of it. And I think if you want to continue expanding it, maybe even like reaching out to specific schools, then maybe they can like reach out to their own students. But yeah, it's a really great program, and
Mhm.
can't wait to see where it goes in the future.
Mhm.
Do you have any more questions?
I don't think I've any for now. I'll reach out if I have any, but thank you so much.
no, thank you. Have a great rest of your night, and thank you for your time.
All right, see y'all.
Bye. All right, let me stop recording.